Hi, ho everyone. My name's Mr. Fruit, and welcome to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 85. In today's video, we learn that I am a psychopath who's looking to get away with murder, apparently. We learn about the brand new Overwatch 2 news. Some big news, indeed. A lot of PvP updates have finally come out.
We learn about your fears of haircuts.
I do have this weird fear of a lot of things. Little anxiety. We learned about
Formula
One, that's true.
We learned about a little bit of that, which was cool. I'm into that now.
Also, this other Indiana Jones-like game Rob's excited for.
It looks cool.
And I'm excited for, I guess. I just don't have access. Feels bad. The loss of a... What did you call it? MangaCon?
Yeah, MangaCon.
MangaCon?
I think that's how you say, like, is the correct, like, pronunciation of an author of a manga.
My hopeless addiction to gacha games, and much more in this episode. So stay tuned to hear from our sponsors. Thanks. Insert sponsors who are in this video, as well as our commentary on a whole bunch of stuff. So
nailed it.
Love you. Bye. No.
Here,
get into it.
Welcome.
Welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 85. It's so good to have you all here today on Sunday, May 23rd.
Oh.
Close.
No?
Yeah,
no,
23rd.
yeah.
23rd.
Yeah, you're right. Because I'm going to an engagement party this weekend. Not yours, but a different engagement party.
That's exciting.
Yeah, Cody K's getting married. Well, they're getting eloped, which is like the more cost-effective way of getting married.
Right.
I see it as.
I mean,
so I go. He goes, "We're getting eloped." I was like, "Oh, so you're saving money?" And he goes, "Yeah."
I mean, that's pretty much what Claire and I did last year, and then we couldn't get our money back, so we had to do a ceremony anyway, which we'll be doing in less than 3 weeks.
That's why I got this haircut, dude. Like,
yeah, I had to get. Well, I was waiting. I was like, I need to wait a little bit to just cut it short enough so that it grows out
a little bit, so it doesn't look like new haircut hair. I agree. Yeah. Like I'm in that same boat.
So after way too long, as I usually do, I was talking about this. I don't know why. Granted, there's a lot of things in my life that cause this, but like mundane things like getting a haircut gives me anxiety.
In the sort of sense, like what? Talking to somebody or what?
Just
everything about it.
Doing it, yeah. Like, the more I'm learning about it, I think it's apparently part of this ADHD thing.
I was just gonna say ADHD.
Like, there's a reason why I'm a terrible texter. Like, replying to text, anxiety, tweets, emails, taxes, like, even if it's like, I need you to sign this thing, I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Like,
what am I signing?
I set up an appointment for my haircut, and I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. It's like an hour before the haircut. I'm like, God, my heart's beating. Like,
this haircut, I really don't.
That's funny
because maybe I don't have to go. Maybe I could.
Yeah,
just,
I was like,
but no, I can get away with not getting my haircut. Right? I can just go later.
Yeah, like I can wait a little bit. But my wedding.
Yeah, you guys are so different. That I'm just like, I gotta go get a fucking haircut.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Especially, I don't know why. And I always told my dad never understood this. He's like, just do it. When I was growing up, and I was like, you don't understand that.
Like, thanks, man. I'll take that.
What do you try and do like the small conversation with your haircut person, or do you just sit there and it's strictly business?
Please stop talking.
Yeah, I'm sitting there. I sit down, and he starts cutting my hair. I'm just like, please don't talk. Please don't talk. He doesn't say anything.
Please don't talk.
Yeah.
Oh, they want to know what I do.
So what do you have on the agenda today?
Oh God, nothing.
I ain't
yeah, the weather's good.
Oh yeah. So like, what made you want to start cutting hair?
Then I don't want the person to talk to me either. But then like if they engage a conversation, I have to like reciprocate it. Then like I have to pretend like I'm interested in it as well. It's hard for me to just be like, yeah.
Yeah, I can't also just be like,
look, don't talk
non-communicative. To me, like if you start asking questions, I'm gonna feel obligated to continue the conversation, but I really hope it goes nowhere.
Yeah, I hope like it just hits a wall.
But dear
like
God, if you could lose interest in this conversation, that'd be amazing. Oh my God,
it's like Ubers. Like if you don't say more than 10 words in the Uber, that's a 5-star, baby. Like, just get me to the destination in one piece.
More than that, we're talking 4. All right. I didn't ask for chatty Cathy. But no,
They did a good job though.
Well, thank you. It was. Well, I went in because it'd been so long. I showed my pictures. Like, believe it or not, like once upon a time, my hair kind of looked like that. Can I just like?
Are
just cut it
you
like that?
playing a game right now? You literally showed your phone, and you are addicted.
I am. Well, the nice thing is it's just auto. Like I don't even have to do anything.
Yeah, I get it. Like you start a battle and then it battles.
Yeah.
Yes. You're min maxing.
Yeah, I'm totally addicted though. But we were doing the haircut, and the thing is, like, I'm anxious to do haircuts, but then when I get a haircut, as long as they don't talk to me, I like haircuts because I like people messing with my hair. Not like anybody, but like if somebody like
like a
scratches my head
cosmetologist or something like that.
Yeah, like I like like head scratches feel great.
Did you get the
haircuts are glorified hair
the
scratch.
shampoo? No,
I didn't.
That just kind of extends the haircut, you know?
It's towards the end. He's like, "You want a haircut?" I'm like, or a shampoo? I'm like, "I want to get out of here." At this point.
Please.
At that point, it's like, get me out of here.
But if they don't talk to me, it's like super peaceful though. Like I'm like I get into a point where I'm like not asleep, but I'm not awake, kind of. And I'm just kind of like vibing, and the haircut feels good, and then it's over. But like I like that part. But then it's like thinking about the next haircut I have to get. I can wait like 7 months, right? Like
I go to Floyd's, and the best part about Floyd's is they have that like single razor thing they do on the neck at the end. It's
That's
like an actual. Oh, feels that's the best. It's like the warm kind of soap too.
See,
that's my favorite part, bro.
I got burnt on that though, not actual.
Oh,
burnt,
really? Not like
cut. But yeah, I got cut. Like they gave me like a razor burn, and for a couple days it was miserable. So now every time they do it, I'm like PTSD.
Really? I'm all about it. I haven't had a bad experience.
Well, just wait until you do. All right. But I do like. I think they also do like the little shoulder massage. He didn't ask me the fudge.
Oh yeah, this was the first time like she asked me. She's like, "Do you want a shoulder massage?" And I was like,
They normally ask. Yeah, they have the little.
I was like, "Yeah, sure, I guess." Yeah. For stupid me, dude, I thought it was gonna be like her like like yeah, like when she brought out the machine, I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah, that makes more sense.
No, they come out there. It's like, so how's your day? How are you feeling?
You little tense, huh? You want to talk about it?
How often do you go for haircuts, Blue?
My hair grows. Well, it's in quarantine. I've been cutting my own hair.
Okay,
that's impressive.
Do you line yourself up?
Yeah, I line myself up. I mean, my haircuts are usually short, so I don't. There's not a whole lot to it. Obviously, lining up has become difficult, but like you learn to do it in quarantine.
That would be like the hardest thing for me. Like if I had that kind of hair where like you have to line it up perfectly. Like I've seen like TikToks where it looks like that or something. It's so funny.
I mean, my first time definitely wasn't lined up perfectly, but my hair grows fast, so I usually have to go like once every 2 months ish.
Wow, that's a lot. I go like once every 4 or 5, I think. Because I think like Christian, I just let it get to the point where it's like, all right, you gotta get a haircut, dude.
I get to the point where it's like, Jesus, like at this point, what are we doing here? We're either going man bun at this point, like we're going Fabio, or I'm getting a haircut. So that's what eventually pushes me.
Well, I'm glad you were able to find the strength and get a haircut.
No, trust me, it wasn't easy.
I'll go with you next time if that makes you feel better.
Thanks. Hold my hand. Like you're doing great, kid. Oh, speaking of which, I don't know really why that segued, because in my mind, I was thinking about like going to a doctor and your mom being there when you're little and being like, you're doing fine. So don't ask me how I connected that. Which also reminds me of another thing, which I'm going to have to remember to say after this, because I'm totally going to forget, because that reminded me of something.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, I wrote it down, so
all right.
The odds of
it's
me
down.
Remembering it are slightly better.
Okay.
I got my blood work back. I still haven't done my MRIs. I need to double check on those appointments.
And your blood is red.
June's MRI. Yeah. They're like, we got to tell you something.
I don't know how to tell you this.
Your blood is jello?
Yeah.
How did
your blood is just straight advanced GG. Like, and it tasted great. I went in for the vial thing. they did it over a week ago, and my elbow pit, whatever you want to call that, I would call it
This
the elbow
like
pit.
thing right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The elbow hinge, the inside of the hinge, you know, the pit.
Sure. The bicep.
No, but like right. I
Yeah,
think
but that's where your
at the
bicep
end of the
like.
bicep.
Sure, but bicep.
Okay, sure, whatever. Um, it's still bruised over a week ago. They took like 6 full vials of blood. I thought I was gonna die.
What the?
Yeah,
Oh my
because I had to
god!
do. They
I
did
would
like
freak
14.
out.
They did like 14 or 15 different blood tests. So I guess they just needed
Do
an
you see like the
insane
blood
amount of
coming out
blood.
and shit too?
Well, see, I can look at blood. I can look at gross things for the most part, like gory thing, anything, not a problem. But if I'm watching someone take blood out of me, I'm out. If that's it, I can't do it.
Do you like have to look away from when they
hmm
take your blood? Yeah, I do
Like
that
I
too.
was over here and I just like I can't. And the worst part is I could feel them siphoning the blood because it was just taking so long. It felt like my life force was draining.
Did you
I
not
was like,
drink water or anything? Like, isn't it like
oh,
you
I'm
have
well
to drink?
hydrated. Come on now.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Like,
come on now. I was hydrated.
so I figured like because one time Sydney was trying to get blood drawn, they couldn't find a vein, and when they did, it was literally like.
Oh, well, the good
'Cause,
news
like,
is your boy is like a cartography table, so they didn't have a hard time. I mean,
Yeah.
literally just like. And it was right after I went to work out too, so I was even more vascular, so it's super easy.
Yeah, I
But
got big veins, no big deal.
I'm very vascular.
That turns me on.
But yeah, I'm sitting there and like, I was like, geez, it's got to be over soon. It's got to be over soon. I'm like, I felt like shriveling, like a witch or something. And he's finally done with it. It's like, oh, thank Jesus. So I went and sat in my car. I was like, I don't even know if I should drive yet. But they took all that blood. It was terrible. Do all the blood tests. They get back to me this Monday, a couple days ago, and everything's normal.
What? Oh,
So yeah,
Color me shocked, Mr. Fruit.
that didn't answer anything. But we tested.
I have a question
like
for you, Mr.
8
Fruit.
million things. Yeah.
Do you think you are in a sort of the sense a hypochondriac in the sense that you think that there's always something wrong going on in your body?
I don't think it. I know it.
same.
I know there's something like between my back ailing me every single day. That's the biggest one. I'm not like too worried about other things.
Lower or upper, middle, back?
Middle. It's it pretty much.
Your P2.
It'll be anywhere from like mid lat to lower back, anywhere from there, and that's where I'm getting the MRI. It could be anywhere around there. But I literally can't do mundane things like for instance, we did laundry, and I had to like take all the shirts and put them on like the drying racks.
Hate
And
doing
doing that after a couple minutes, I have to lay on my back and do PT work because it's cramping, and I'm like, ah.
It could be just so boring that your back is like, I don't want to do this. Like,
No,
I'm
literally,
shutting down.
Like, I can't do yard work. I can't bend down. I can't sit on my like. Yeah, it's like I have
And it
to
can't be your
rethink
chair
everything.
because like you got the best chair in the biz. Like, great support.
Yeah, well, I got great support, and
It
that's
can't
the
be
thing.
like your workouts because form is on point.
Well, that's the ironic thing is actually the only time it usually doesn't hurt is workouts because I'm stretching it, and I think it's also because I'm using it in such a strict manner. Like the activity I'm doing is very controlled, and so the motion, like I know what I'm doing and everything. It'll still on back days it can still flare up some, and then I just got to do some PT work.
You should try wearing like a weightlifter belt. You know, like when you're doing that. Maybe that'll kind of help with your kind of form
Maybe
or
a bra.
something.
It's not really the issue. But yeah, go back to my what was that? My heating bra or whatever. My heat.
Oh
ice
yeah, I
pack bra.
forgot about that.
Yeah, that's been something else. But
So blood is chill.
yeah. So, but like,
What blood type?
I don't know actually.
Oh.
I guess I can ask. It's like one of those things where like I guess it's good nothing was wrong, but I would have preferred them to say something was wrong,
Yeah.
so then I know what is wrong.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm just going to continue to be a lab rat for.
Well, like
God knows how long.
I get this super sharp pain in my left knee. If I'm ever like moving stuff or like exerting my knee or something like that, if I'm like going on hikes or like on like unlevel kind of terrain or something like that, my knee can sometimes just have this super sharp pain, and I got like MRIs on it and stuff like that, and they came back and were like, yeah, your knee looks great. I was like, all right, well, I'd rather have preferred you say we need to amputate this thing rather than, yeah, it looked great. Like,
You're gonna become
so
a
great.
cyborg.
I just wasted all this money and all this time and effort. See how you have anxiety about like the haircut place, or I have that with the doctors. Like, I don't want to go to the doctors because I don't want to find out anything's wrong with me. You know what I mean?
I'm at the point where it's just been so long that I would rather them just be like, here are your problems. I'm like, great.
This is how we fix them.
Or something. Yeah, at least we got somewhere to go off of. But instead, it's just test it. Like, if these MRIs come back, brother, and they're like, yeah, we still have no idea, I'm pissed. At that point, I don't even know what I can do. So, but yeah, that's what reminded me. The blood work came back, and it was.
You're good, but Sag? Question mark.
But Sag. And then that reminded me though, because there was like this TikTok Claire showed me, because I struggle with this all the time. I don't have a TikTok.
I'm just joking.
The only time I ever did that was when I think Blue like linked a tweet in the DMs.
Oh yeah.
And it was like
98.
Yeah, well, no, it was like 521. And so like some guy did a thread of like his favorite TikTok.
Oh yeah.
And so Blue links one, and it's like the 521st through the thread. So I went in a rabbit hole and I just started scrolling up.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. But it felt good, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't get through all of them, but like I would find some and I was like, oh, the boys should like this. So then I would DM it, and it felt like
and then it would link. It'd be like 286. I'm like, you fell down a rabbit hole, Mr. Fruit.
But it felt like Claire's always like, yeah, I have these TikToks showing. So she showed me this one, and it was about this girl. He was like sitting there with his girlfriend, and she just says something out of the blue, and he's in the kitchen, and he's just like, whoa. And then like time freezes, and he's sitting there, and he's trying to like dissect what she said.
Dissect the situation.
Well, so she like says something random, like, yeah, so Jill and them are going Friday to this thing. It's like, oh, Jill, friends of this person, which we talked about last week, going to this place. I'll be going to this place. And he goes through the whole thing because I know this, and Claire evidently didn't realize until this TikTok, that she does this exact same thing, where out of nowhere in a conversation, or not even in a conversation, she just says something. Like, you go, what? And it's because she's been thinking about this thing for Lord knows how long, and then she just assumes you know what she's talking about.
Oh yeah, I know.
So she just says this thing. I'm like, what? She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what are we talking about here? The party.
Rush
What
of
party?
anxiety.
Yeah, like I told you about this 2 weeks ago, like this thing, and I'm like,
Oh my god, what?
But she like.
Do you even listen to me? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So we have to dissect. And so now I pointed out to Claire. She'll say something and be like, yeah, and so my dad said that so and so. I'm like, your dad? Wait, what? Like we weren't even talking. She goes, I did it again, didn't I? Okay, so like my dad and I, we talked, and she hasn't even told me about any of this. She goes all the way back, and it's the same exact thing. You have to sit there and be like, okay, wait, at this. Okay, why would she be talking about that? And then
red line.
And then this, and then we have her, and you're like sitting there with like the red strings.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, sick, babe. Cool.
I think it's just a girl thing, but yeah, they kind of just assume. Because like if I think of something, I'll be like, hey, babe, like remember that thing we talked about? Or like, hey, did I ever tell you about this? Okay, well, this. But instead, she just goes like mid-conversation, and you're just like...
Yeah, like Georgie fell down the well, like, wait, what?
And you just woke up. Well, I've been thinking about this for a little while now.
Well, Sydney will do this thing where, let's say like she'll lose something like 2 weeks ago, and then she'll just kind of be sitting, and then we'll be like watching TV or something, and she'll be like, oh my god, I know where my purse is, and then like go and like run and get it, and then like I found it, and like you've been looking for that for 3 weeks, and while we're randomly watching TV, you just remembered where it was. She's like, yeah, and then just gets like you're not even watching the show, you're thinking about where your purse is and where it's hidden. She's like, yeah, pretty much. All right.
Yeah, I can't do that. Well, that's apparently also part of... Well, see, for me, as I've been looking at ADHD, I think I talked about it. I always had the misconception, I said this before, that it's like a lack of focus. But hyperfocus is also part of ADHD. I think it's very obvious. I'm a hyperfocuser.
Yeah.
When it comes to work...
Such a range of things that like no one person's ADHD is the same as someone else's. To like it's just a big spectrum of pain.
Well, I think is that the kid. The problem was like you were always just told or like seemed like whenever they explained ADHD, it's like, oh yeah, because this kid's hyper and all over the place. He's got ADHD, and
Yeah.
you just only hear about that being ADHD.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like hyper focus. And for me, I could never be like, that's where I put my purse because if I'm watching a show, brother, that's the only thing running in this brain.
Yeah, me too. Like
I'm
that's
watching
all
that
I'm
show.
watching.
I can't do it. I can't multitask. But yeah, it was just funny because it's and now that she showed me that, we just like mention it constantly. I'll be like, babe, you're doing it again. Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah, Cindy and I were watching like the Formula One like Drive to Survive thing they have on Netflix. Super sick, by the way. And I got like this cool driving thing. Look at this.
Are you gonna be playing?
Oh, dude, it's so
racing games
fun.
now?
So it's called it's Formula One, dude, and I'm fucking back there.
Oh, is that's like literally made for that game specifically?
Not specifically, like it can like do other games and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like it doesn't look like a Formula One wheel, but there are like actual like Formula One wheels you can get that like actually light up and stuff. It's super cool.
You might as well just get the whole chassis.
I'm a big
Why
Formula
stop
One
it?
guy now. In a week, I turned into a big Formula One guy.
It feels like over the past couple years, there's just been this like Formula One's just becoming a thing. It feels like it came out of nowhere, but it's like just.
Oh,
getting
I mean,
super
my
popular.
dad has been into Formula One since like Schumacher and like Senna back in like
do know
Senna
that
was like the
name.
80s and then like Schumacher was like the early 2000s. So like I kind of fell out of love with it when I was like a teenager because I was like, ew, like soccer's the only cool sport. Like yeah, like any
You
other
mean
sport's
football,
dumb.
some footy.
Yeah, or like NFL. And like I just never super into racing. Until like there's this documentary on Netflix. It's like a series where they just go through like the F1 season with the teams and stuff, and it gives you like behind it. It's fucking cool. Like, and it just like it's just really interesting, and like there's like drama because like all the drivers are like
Naturally.
pretty boys, and it's like. I'm racing for Ferrari, and it's like I'm going to McLaren next year, and it's like, but I'm going to Renault. It's so sick, dude. Blue, are you into Formula One or anything like that?
Not really. I was always I was more of a rally car guy.
Oh,
Do you ever
Another
have you
thing-
ever like raced with these things though, dude? They're super fun. They make racing games like actually a ton of fun.
Yeah,
Like, this
well,
is the first time actually
well,
using one.
I've never had one of those because I love racing games. I mean, I've slowly fallen out of love with them, but I never played one of those, and I feel like the second I play with one of those, like it would be over.
Oh, dude, it's so fun. And then like
Rabbit hole.
Rabbit
it
hole.
has
Dude.
like it came with like an actual shifter. Like so if you play like rally car games and like it has pedals too. Like this is underneath my desk now forever.
yeah, get that
What-
clutch.
Yeah, and so like Monaco's this weekend, which is like the biggest F1 race. I'm not gonna be able to watch it though.
Why is that?
Because I'm going camping for
Oh,
Cody's
right, for
engagement
the
party.
engagement party.
Yeah, that's what the engagement party is.
Nature.
It's
Oh.
like Cody's parents had like a cabin in like Fairplay, and so it kind of is like sitting on some land. So the idea is like we all bring our own tents and chairs and stuff like
Oh, I've
that,
been
and
there
everybody just
before.
camps out there for a day.
Only a
Yeah, it'd be
day.
fun.
Well, that's manageable.
But you should watch it, Christian. If you're looking for something new to watch where it's kind of drama filled and it's like something new to learn about and something that I think you'd find interesting, on Netflix, Formula One Drive to Survive. It's fucking cool. And the Texas Grand Prix is my birthday weekend. So me and my dad,
Oh, you're going out?
yeah, we're gonna go to the Circuit of the Americas race.
Circuit of the Americas, the classic.
Yeah, have you ever been there, Blue? It's like in
No.
Austin, right?
I haven't been there. Oh no, I have been there.
Oh.
I just thought about this. I went
Core
to
memory
I-
unlocked.
Yeah, I didn't go there for racing. I went there for this arcade fire show, and they played
Oh.
at the Circuit of the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this place is nice. Can't wait to never come here again.
Yeah, Billy Joel is going to be performing there as well, so it'll be cool. I get to see
Ooh.
Billy Joel and some Formula One racing, which will be cool. I don't
Billy
know like
Joel
what kind of
is,
tickets
as
I'm going to
people
get
say,
yet though.
lit.
But it's going to be sick. So you should watch it, Christian, and Blue, if
I'll look into it.
especially you, Blue, because you're into kind of racing and stuff like that.
Speaking of rally cars, the only thing I ever knew about that stuff was Travis Pastrana. It's the only reason I ever knew about that.
Yeah, he's like rally cars, right? He's like everything, kind of.
Well, yeah, that was it. Just because like X Games, and that was the reason. It was like Travis Pastrana.
Nitro
like,
Circus.
Well, yeah, it's like what is Travis Pastrana competing in? Just like everything.
Yeah, and what does he get gold in? Everything. Okay.
Yeah, it was impressive. Most impressed. But that's really all I know about that. I was never big into racing or cars, and I think that's because my older brother took all that. Like I didn't need to because he was so into
He
all
was
of it.
all into it.
Like he still is. He knows everything about cars, racing. And I would remember watching him just play Gran Turismo. And
Did he have a wheel or no wheel?
back in the day, I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't think so.
Wheel
Because
or no
whatever on
wheel?
like PlayStation. Yeah, we need to know. But I never really liked those games too. They were just too slow for me. Like the one racing game I played was like Need for Speed Underground, baby.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So those are really the only ones, like the more arcadey ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I could never. Well, what was it? I think it was PSX. Whenever they did that PlayStation Expo, which feels like forever ago. It's probably like 2015 or 2016.
Is that when SRL got announced?
Yeah. And that's when I met Bless. And I remember I used to be somebody in a Soda contact. And he was like, yo, I can get you into all the back rooms. So Dad and I went into all the back rooms. And so essentially they had all the show floor stuff, but in private rooms now. And so there are no lines. And there were just developers waiting to play with you because they think you're someone special. So we would just go room to room. And they had one. This is like when PlayStation VR was just being announced or like unveiled. And they had a full chassis, like a whole seat.
God.
With the wheel, everything.
Did it move too or no?
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Oh, God.
And I forget what the game was. But, brother, I made it about 20 seconds in before I'm like...
Yeah.
Like,
You need to inject some Dramamine for those games sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
there's
it was like on a racetrack, and I'm sitting there, and I knew it immediately. I turn in game, and my body's like, we're not turning. And I'm like, ooh. It was bad.
Yeah, there's a new VR game. It's not the F1 game, but like you can plug your VR headset into like the thing and also like do pedals and steering. That just seems like so. First of all, I'll be damned if I'm streaming. I'll be damned if you see me streaming like this.
Why not, man? Just don't
Like,
have a
you know
face
what I
cam on.
mean? Like,
I think you
it's just so ridiculous looking.
It is pretty.
But
funny.
it does seem fun. But I think I would puke.
Oh. I mean, what was it? I think I talked about it, but when I first got PSVR, I was having trouble with some of the games. And there was this one robot game. All the others had kind of made me nauseous. But I tried this one robot game. I don't remember what it was, but you were like in a mech or something.
I know what you're talking about because it was like the first VR game that like people were playtesting and stuff.
And I didn't even make it through the tutorial. And the rest of the day, I had to just lay down. It was like the vertigo and motion sickness I got from it was, and that was on Dramamine too. It was, whew. I can't do it. Like literally, I was sitting in the tutorial and I'm like sweating profusely. It's like
Robo Recall.
That might have been it. But I'm sitting there like, oh my god! Like I'm trying to get through. Like it'll be, oh my god! And I couldn't. It was terrible. I just can't do it. And then I looked it up too, and there's like a certain percentage of people who just like are super susceptible to motion sickness, and I'm just one of them.
Yeah.
So until we get like the full rigs, I think it might help if like they had those like treadmill things, you know, where like my
where
full
like
body
you like,
can actually, like my body's like oh, okay, we're moving in game and IRL,
like actual 4D motion, like.
Yeah. But until that happens, I think
dude, we're gonna be like, we'll be phasing out when that is like the normal. Like we'll be like 50,
it'll
60.
keep me young.
Yeah, maybe I'll stream it for you, chat. Like we'll see.
40 years. I can only imagine what that'll look like. Well, I mean, think about it. 15 years ago, our job wasn't even a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So in 15 years from now, Who knows?
I mean, 15 years ago was what, 2006?
Mm-hmm.
What a year.
I mean, really, our job wasn't really a thing until like 11 years ago, really. Because 2010, I think, is about where contracts started happening. And
Yeah, like the first
people
like
actually
actual
made-
person I remember getting paid from YouTube was Equals 3.
He was up there.
Ray William Johnson. I used to love.
Yeah,
that
he's
dude.
like him, PewDiePie. I'm trying to think of like.
Well, he was before PewDiePie by a good bit. Like Jenna Marbles was one of the first. Trying to think of the OGs.
I'm trying to think too. Who's the guy that did the Mortal Kombat stuff? It was like.
Oh, I don't know.
They became big off of it though. But Smosh, maybe them. I think
Smosh
that's
was
who it is.
one. I think. What was her name?
Ryan Higa,
he did
or
video
whatever
game,
his name was.
Ryan Higa, yeah. Whoever did, I can't remember his name. Who did like video game high school? He did all those like, video game shorts.
Yeah.
I know it's like right.
He's
there.
like the first like 3D, 4D like editor that kind of did that stuff. Video game, high school. Isn't it like Freddie something or
Freddie Wong, maybe?
Yeah.
Freddie Wong?
I
That's
think
it.
so.
Yep.
Freddie Wong. Yeah, he was up there.
I pulled that name out of the back of my head. Holy shit.
Well, I was thinking Fwong, F Wong, and I was like, why is that? I guess that was close. Freddie Wong.
Does he still make content on YouTube or no?
I don't know.
He made awesome videos.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing too. Is nowadays stuff like that, like making really high quality short content, doesn't get you anywhere,
because now they have that. Have you seen like VR?
Captain Sparkles.
Like VR directors, or like FX react to movies and stuff like that. I feel like that is kind of that form now of content. That's like
Corridor Digital. They also used to do more like Freddie Wong stuff. Freddie Wong kind of started. Corridor Digital came in, except they weren't Corridor Digital at the time. Then they formed their studio.
Freddie Wong hasn't uploaded on Rocket Jump. I guess that's his new channel in about 2 years.
Well, good luck whenever you're doing, Freddie.
Oh, I'm sure he's good
Love you.
whatever he's doing. But yeah, those are like that's when like we were in high school. Like those were the channels. For Philip DeFranco, I feel like he was there.
Yep.
I feel like Philip DeFranco is probably like the
longest lasting.
Yeah, for sure.
He's like a
like if I
dinosaur
look
on YouTube.
If I look up a Philip DeFranco video, I'm gonna look up his first video that he uploaded. It has to be like at least 2006. Oh, I guess he's like deleted some of his old ones. So, yeah, because 4 years ago is his last one. So, he's OG as fuck.
Yeah, or it might have been a different channel. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, yeah, that just shows you how different times have gone. Like they did the survey of kids. Like, nowadays they're like, "What's your favorite?" Or like, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And it's like, "Yeah, I want to stream, be a content creator or an influencer." 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that wasn't even an answer. It was like, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be whatever it was. I actually have no idea what it was. I feel like being an astronaut is just like this default answer, but really is that everybody's like most wanted. I never wanted to be an astronaut.
I did, dude. Fuck, going to space? What's cooler than that?
Yeah, but
content creator
in space. Now we're talking breaking barriers, brother.
Speaking of breaking barriers, can we talk about how cool it is with Bless playing with Reggie and raising like 80 grand for St. Jude?
So
you, Bless.
Yeah, I don't know if we've talked about it. For those that don't know, the Nintendo guy, Reggie, is it like Ames Filmy? I don't know how to say his last name.
Reggie.
Yeah, it's Reggie, and then FILS-AIME with a accent. So fills in. I have no idea. But who recently left Nintendo. But for whatever reason, Bless has always talked about this. He's followed Bless on Twitter,
which is
for
so
many years.
And before Reggie followed, I think Reggie follows like 250 people now. There was a point where Reggie only followed like
60
12
or something. Yeah,
not even. It was like 12.
And Bless was one of them. Yeah. And he still doesn't know today why that was. We're like, dude, sick. And so finally, years later, Bless is doing his charity live stream, which he's still doing right now. So if you want to go,
it's like a month-long thing. It started in the 1st of May, and I think it ends like the
twitch.tv/Blessius. He's raising money for St. Jude Children's Hospital, and he tweeted at Reggie saying, you know, hey, if we hit this goal, would you be down to play a game of Mario Party with me? And he set a goal, and apparently Reggie DM'd him separately. It was like, yo, I saw your tweet. Like, tell me, like, what are you doing? What's going on? What's the goal? Like, let's set a high goal. And so they set it at 75,000, and they've hit and then on top of that, Twitch came in. We're like, yo, we'll match donations.
Yeah, and up to like 20 grand. So Bless is already technically, I think, already at like 100,000 probably raised.
So, and then Reggie said, sure enough, if you hit that goal, we'll play it. So now they have it set up to where Bless, Reggie, and then 2 people from raffles from donators will be playing with them in a game of Mario Party. And it's just so
I think it's one is the highest donator, and then one is like a raffle of like if you donated 500, you're like into a raffle. And so we're proud of you, Bless, and it's gonna be super sick to watch. I thought we should just kind of touch up on it.
Yeah, it's dope. He literally, like, I think if he could meet any idol, you know, like people ask that question, he'd be like Reggie.
Yeah, and it's funny because he's a Nintendo brand ambassador.
He is a Nintendo brand ambassador. He's not a content creator. He's a Nintendo brand ambassador.
Yeah, very important, very big distinction.
Good for you, Bless. We're proud of you. Speaking of other barriers being broken, Overwatch going 5v5 because pros are in shambles.
Did you see that XQC clip I put in the chat? Yeah. It was basically like when the Gladiators say they're not competing in contenders, and XQC's like, "Did I just lose my job?" Yep. Oh, I didn't. He's like, I didn't even know. I think I just got fired. Okay. So it was like Overwatch, like off tanks reading the news today. It was like, I guess I got fired today.
So for those out of the loop, yesterday, May 20th, Overwatch did a live stream with Overwatch 2 PvP gameplay, because all we've really heard up until this point too is just PvE stuff. So we've all been wondering, like, okay, you're making a sequel, so like, what's happening in PvP? Like, surely you got to be doing something. Well, they're mixing up pretty big, which might not seem big to some people, but it's very big. Overwatch is moving from 6v6 to 5v5, and so a lot of people are joining. I think it's funny. Half the Overwatch League tanks right now are like sweating, like, oh no. So they're either getting benched, and then the bench warmers are getting fired, or vice versa. Who really knows? But they're moving to 5v5, and personally, I'm all here for it. And they're changing the role queue. Specifically, we're mentioning tanks because they're keeping role queue or role lock or whatever they call it. But now it's 2 DPS, 2 support, 1 tank. And that's how they're doing the 5v5. And so that's why everyone's like, well, one less tank player. And they're changing up the sandbox as well because of that. The way tanks work now, they're making them more bruiserish. All of them as a whole are tankier. They give less ult charge. All of them are kind of getting some reworks. Like, they showed a couple. We already kind of knew it. Reinhardt, for instance, has 2 flame strikes. I think that's what it's called. And his shoulder charge maneuver is now more... You have more mobility and control with it. You can turn tighter, all that kind of stuff. You can also cancel it whenever you want now.
Oh, that's cool.
So then you can, like, go in halfway, juke them out, you know, shatter, do whatever you want. As well as, I think, just more health. He has like 600, 700 health now or something. And then others got changed. So, like, Zarya now has 2 charges of her bubbles that are shared. So she could send out a bubble on her support and her DPS. Or she could bubble herself and then bubble herself again. And all this kind of stuff. And that's currently, they're testing that. Winston now has an alternate fire where he shoots electricity in like a singular bolt. So now he has range and some more.
So now he has to aim?
Yeah, well, only his alt fire. So no aim.
Oh, he doesn't have primal anymore?
He has primal. But his alternate fire, you now hold it, it charges a thing.
I think you said ult fire.
Oh, no. Alternate. They're changing that. Apparently, they've changed Roadhog a good bit, but I don't think they
I don't think
specified
he
any of
needs
that.
much change. He seems like the most like
Well, see, the problem
perfect
is,
kind of.
why would you play Roadhog when everyone else could give like barriers? Like
Or like
Roadhog
shield.
just takes up a whole bunch of space physically. Like all he's gonna do is get hurt, and he doesn't have a shield. So they're looking at ways
To kind of like help, because now a tank almost has to have a support kind of function with it, almost.
Well, that's why like people are saying like, what's gonna happen to like
Diva.
Hammond? Because like Hammond, any CC and you're done. You can get focused. You can't get like a bubble now from a Zarya. You don't have support from another.
And
tank.
Hammond's whole thing is to like kind of play on his own kind of game sometimes,
Yeah.
like play in the back line and just be annoying. Like,
So they also talked about how though they're looking throughout the entire game to lower the CC, or even just remove a lot of it. Like they mentioned, they're thinking of just like removing McCree's stun, for instance, and replacing it with something else.
what does CC stand for? Like
Crowd control.
Crowd control.
Okay, crowd
Yeah.
control.
But they heard like obviously CC is a problem, and then it's like a power creep in CC. Shields are a problem. It feels like, you know, Overwatch nowadays, you're spending more time shooting shields than you are the enemy. You know, so they're looking at changing these kind of things, and so it sounds like they're finally trying to fix the whole problem Overwatch has kind of been having, where it's like this weird creep to where it's just like these death balls, and you feel like you're not doing much, and individual skill doesn't seem to shine as much. But now reduce it to 5v5, take out an extra tank, and then also change a lot of the fundamentals of the sandbox. And personally, I think just the 5v5 is big enough, because even then it's two less people in this mess of fights. And I think that allows for more. The less people you have, the more individual skill can shine, I think. So this could give DPS players a better chance to like pop off. Or the other big thing too is now support players, they don't have to worry about healing two tanks. They only have one tank. So they
That's
talked
true,
about
too.
how meta now in like some of their play tests is one healer's like, all right, I'm just gonna stick to our tank. The other healer, you get everyone else. Or
That's cool.
yeah,
Makes
or
sense.
now it's like you just kind of throw some stuff, but now you don't have to waste everything on a tank.
Or like
Your
having a
tanks-
Pharah Mercy and like just having the Mercy on the Pharah and then like
Yeah.
Ana or someone like just watches everybody else.
Or they're talking about how some of the meta they've seen is, okay, both tanks or both healers just heal tank, and we'll try and make him like an unkillable Goliath kind of thing. But it makes more interesting too, because that gives more agency to supports where like, hey, now as a support, maybe as Batiste, I can actually do damage.
Yeah.
Or, you know, with passives as well, supports, every role is getting the passive. So supports passively regenerate health. Tanks, all of them get what is Reinhardt's current passive, which is reduced knockback and crowd control effects, I believe. DPS, you move faster, base movement speed, and yeah, those are the three classes.
I did like the sound of Soldier's new gun though. It sounds good.
It was meaty. Packed a punch.
It sounded good.
Yeah, now it's like go, 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 go.
Yeah, it sounded great.
But so like supports, that helps too, because now as Ana, for instance, you don't have to waste your nades to heal yourself. You can just passively regenerate. And then Mercy's passive regeneration will now just be like on roids. But there's all these interesting things. And it just sounds nice. Like it finally seems more like, okay, they're doing more than just like putting a 2 on it and adding some PvE. They're finally tackling and answering the hard questions of like, what the fudge do we do with this PvP sandbox? Because they definitely had no idea of what they wanted Overwatch to be, and then I think at this point it's definitely become its own thing that I don't think they planned on it to be.
Here's my question. Remember how they said that Overwatch, like you didn't have to buy Overwatch 2 to play Overwatch 2? That has to change now, right?
I'm starting to yeah, that was what they
Like
told us,
that
like,
has
3
to
years
not
ago.
even be in the realm of thinking now. Now that there's 5, that was my first thought. I was like, okay, now you have to buy Overwatch 2. There's no way in hell that that's gonna happen.
I mean, I guess technically all you'd have to do is like send out an update, right, to the old game, to where 5v5 and you just put out the hero changes and the new maps. You just don't get the PvE stuff. I know they could still do it. It still seems odd,
It
and
just seems so weird.
I just hope it doesn't hold it back either.
Kind of like how like Destiny 2 was when it first came to like other
Yeah,
consoles.
like I hope some limitations, rightfully so, from a game they released 5 years ago, whatever. on older systems as well, because that's if the case, they got to make sure that the Switch is running the same and the PS4 and the Xbox One. So it's interesting, but the big announcement, I think some people meme it, and there are some people apparently like the Overwatch subreddit isn't. It's like
Shambles?
that meme from Community where you walk in with the pizza boxes and
Yeah.
everything's on fire, and everyone's like, that's
Don't
kind of
let
what
it
it's like.
drops
Everyone's
it.
like, this is trash. But personally, I'm way more for it.
It sounds like, at least from what I've seen, it seems like the casual kind of community that have like left Overwatch since playing it and all that kind of stuff seem to be about that kind of change and all that kind of stuff. And it seems like the person who has stuck with Overwatch for so long seems to be less excited about change, which is weird because how can you not want any sort of change after playing the same thing for 5 years? Not same thing, but like just kind of.
I mean, yeah, maybe
I would say the first 2 seasons of Overwatch were good, like, and kind of different. Maybe 3, and then just after that, though,
just as the game got more and more solved, quote unquote, or like figured out. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's why I'm more open to it, is because I've kind of fallen out of love with the current Overwatch, and so I'm looking for something new, and this is something new. So it makes sense that people who still love Overwatch for what it is, like, hey, we don't think it needs this, but. Personally, I think it needs it. I think it needs some kind of a revamp, a powder of some sort, and I think this 5v5, as long as with a lot of these changes we're hearing about, like less CC, less shields, more agency as just a player and having an impact on the game with your individual skill sounds a lot more fun. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. Lord knows when we'll get it, though. We're thinking, since they just revealed all this stuff, you got to think it's sooner than rather than later.
thinking like May next year. That's what I'm thinking. May, April of next year. Like right when summer's about to hit. I think that's when they'll drop it.
But
Like
I
right now.
See, I feel like they might just do it on their own terms. They might reveal something at like E3. I feel like they won't. I think they'll just wait until next BlizzCon and then announce like, yo, it's out soon, like real soon after BlizzCon.
Now, I want someone to clip this because this is what's going to happen. E3, they're not going to announce anything, or they do a little something. And then, say December comes around, okay? They drop gameplay and they drop everything. Drop the date. They say spring 2022, okay? And then it comes out.
It's available now.
And then it comes out Mayish right now. And then when they like announce something, or like they're getting hyped for it in like March, April-ish, they announce the Overwatch like TV show or like their adaptation to that.
Overwatch porn.
Something like that. They are going
to
to announce like a TV show along with the game. Like I think when the game comes out, they'll be like, and Overwatch TV show's coming out. To like build hype or something like that, to not only get to people to play the game, but also that they know this TV show is coming.
Diva Dommy Mommy Simulator.
Like there's gonna be like a tandem
VR
drop,
game.
or like as soon as this comes out, they're gonna be like, and in fall of 2022, expect the new Overwatch show on HBO Max, Netflix, whatever it is.
I mean, I'd be down, just
That's
like League's doing.
That's why I think it's gonna happen. They're gonna kind of follow the whole League strategy.
I mean, same thing. Like all the Overwatch shorts we've gotten over the years.
Are
obviously
awesome.
not so much recently. But yeah, it's like, man, just imagine a show or a movie like this. It'd be sick. So I think they're definitely capable of it. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But I think no matter what, it'll probably be like some surprise at BlizzCon where it's like, and Overwatch 2 is available either like now or like this weekend when BlizzCon's over. Or at least like the beta or something. I feel like there's going to be something about that.
In 2022 or 2021?
2022. Well, the BlizzCon 2021's already happened.
Oh,
that's
right.
Like 3 months ago. But
okay, so I'm with you.
I'd be glad to be wrong and it comes out like this year. That'd be sick.
I fucking doubt that. With Jeff leaving and shit, no chance, right?
Yeah. So I can't wait to figure out, though, in the years to come to see why he left. Like, it could have just been, he was ready for something different. I wonder if it was like almost like a Halo Infinite thing where like he's like, this just isn't where it's going. Or like, yeah, this is whack. We'll see.
And now it's at the point where like, if I can't make it the game I want, and everyone's just gonna hate me. And so it's like I can go out the hero now, or I can go out as the villain.
Because if Overwatch 2 was trash
Awful,
and poorly received,
everybody's gonna
and then
blame
he
Jeff.
dips, then it's like, he's just going down with the sinking ship, or
that's what I think it is. Like he's just not trying to save face, because Jeff Kaplan has totally earned the right to do that. But I think it's him going, I don't think Overwatch 2 is going to be that great or something like that, or it's not going to be the game that I envisioned it to be, so I'm going to take a step back, Chief.
I mean, I don't blame it. If it were me, though, there's no way I could work on the same thing for 20 years or whatever. So at that point, I'd be ready for some change, too. But yeah, that's Overwatch 2 news. Exciting. At least PvP. We haven't had any PvP updates, so very fun. There's another game here you wanted to talk about, Rom.
Yeah, Phantom Abyss. It's like this new kind of, what platformer, temple run? I don't know. But basically, it's like this random generated temple. And imagine you're Indiana Jones, and you run through it, and there's like people next to you who is like, it's like they're ghost. Like you see them around you, but they're not actually there with you. And as you're running through it, again, no temple is ever the same. It's all kind of just generated and all that kind of stuff. And you only have one life to do it. So like you could fall immediately and die, and then you will never see that temple again. And then you just go on to another like random temple with like, I don't know if it's like you're playing with a group of 20 people or something like that, or it's like.
So, at least from the little bit I saw, it seems like when you essentially matchmake to find a full lobby to go into this randomized run. So let's say there's like 10 or 20 of you or whatever to start. I don't know how many there are. Let's say 10. So there's 10 of you that start through this temple. And you are essentially trying to speed run to the end, because if you stay ahead of everyone, while they're not physically there, they can physically interact with like the treasure and steal it from you. So they'll like treasure chests within these rooms. And if you're behind somebody and they pick it up, you can't get anything from that treasure. So you're competing with these other people to get these treasures, to buy like perks and stuff to make you have a better chance of making it further into these runs. And then once you end a run, you wait for everyone to finish, you matchmake into like the next room, and then it'll be like 4 adventurers died. So you look around, there's 6 of you left, and you keep going, you go to the next room. Maybe 2 adventurers died through those temples. Now there's 4 of you left, and you keep going, trying to get treasure. And it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it says you get only 1 attempt at the temple run. Once you're out, you're out. Only 1 person in the world can claim a legendary relic, sealing its temple forever. But the ghosts of the fallen players before you will reveal their paths to aid or hinder your attempt. Will you take an early exit to keep your spoils, or press on for glory? Seems really sick.
Yeah.
So I'll be playing that maybe today. If Christian gets his code today, maybe we'll be playing it today.
And I know there's Twitch integration. I don't know how that works. I don't know if like the audience. It's like
it says
the viewers.
Well, it says like Twitch. It says challenge other streamers. Oh, share your user ID so other streamers can attempt the temples you've run, or vice versa. Share your temple links or specific temples. Here is how you do this in your enter temple. And then like in the briefing, they like show you how to do that and stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool. Like just
kind of idea.
I don't know how to say this. They call it an asynchronous multiplayer, or ASYNCHRONOUS. I don't know how to say that.
I'd have to see it, but yeah, you're close now.
Yeah, but it looks super dope, and I'm excited to play that. And I hope you get your code today, so we can play it today.
Oh, thanks. Me too.
What else do we have on here? Oh, I know you wanted to touch on this a little bit, Mr. Fruit. F in the chat for
oh no.
Wait, Rob, you've been recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna need your audio.
Okay.
You guys have been muted, but that's.
Oh, okay. I have it all.
All right. I'll keep going, but yeah, I just looked over and I'm like.
Yeah, that's a tough one where you don't see the things going on.
Yeah,
we're good. I have it recording. So if like worst case scenario, you have to use my entire recording.
Oh, Pog. Okay.
Because I know you.
Things happen, all right? Things happen.
Like a solid 1 out of 10 times, you're gonna mess up audio,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay.
Now that's what you call an author of a manga, right? A mangakon, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mangaka or whatever.
Mangaka. Rest in peace to the mangaka of Berserk.
Yeah.
I don't know the name or the anime or anything, but that's still sad.
Pardon your regularly scheduled podcast listening for this short ad break.
Support for GG Easy is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. This upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on and off switch that can engage a travel lock. It also gives you the ability to turn a 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. Join over the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code GG at manscaped.com.
Yes, I think it was yesterday. It was announced that the creator of Berserk passed away. He's only like 56 or something. Really sad. It comes as a blow, obviously, for any fans. One, because apparently I don't think he shared. Well, one, I don't think he shared his like health problems or something to anybody, so it kind of came out of nowhere. And then I believe he also didn't leave like the legacy of where he wanted the story to go to anybody, I don't believe. So I think Berserk as it is won't finish.
Really?
Yeah, which has been going on for a while and obviously has a big following. I know Berserk because my personal trainer I met a couple years ago, became friends with him. He had a Berserk tattoo and he loved the show. And I remember I tried it and I haven't watched it. It's very different. The animation style is really what kind of just I wasn't about. It's like that if I'm remembering correctly, it's kind of like that choppy 3D CG.
I couldn't watch the Berserk
I'm looking at it
anime.
right now. It kind of looks like 90s anime, like kind of almost early 80s anime too.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean it's like a style. I just don't like that style. There's a lot of animes like that or whatever. But I know tons of people love it, especially it was obviously a manga first, and that's what he's been writing.
Yeah.
But a huge following. But yeah, it was just a big blow to a lot of people out of nowhere.
he's been writing this since 1989. I didn't know that.
Yep. Well, I personally couldn't get into the anime. I just felt like it wasn't the wave, but the manga was. It's impossible to overstate how much an influence this game had on. You see it in Japanese media all the time, with games like Dark Souls. You see like Devil May Cry. Even as far as like Final Fantasy, so much of the high fantasy in Japan's culture is defined by Berserk. And even over here into Western media, like Berserk has been around for so long, and so many like Castlevania.
I'm reading something on Final Fantasy that was inspired by Berserk. It says thousands of online players gathered in a Final Fantasy 14 to mourn Miura. I believe that's how you say his name.
Yeah,
with many playing the Dark Knight class, which is itself was heavily inspired by Berserk's protagonist.
Yeah, so this is actually really cool. I didn't get to be a part of it because I was raiding at the time, but my friends were like, "Yo, come to Ulda in our free company chat," and I was like, "Why would they go to Ulda?" And then they were just like, "Oh my god, there's so many Dark Knights," and I was like, "Oh no, it's a tribute for Berserk."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a bunch of Dark Knights. Like Dark Knight is literally just a straight direct inspiration of Berserk. So they like just a bunch of Dark Knights gathered in Ulda.
The Dark Knights look badass.
Dark Knights are sick. It's
like
second favorite tank for me.
Maybe I'll have to try and read the manga if I can't do the show.
Yeah, like early on, Berserk's not really like my thing. The manga has incredible art. But like even reading it, like you just see like, when did this come out? oh my, this came out like before everything else. Like
The progenitor of a lot of the tropes and stuff we have now.
Yeah, it says
huge
Kind of like Dragon
progenitor.
Ball and stuff.
manga artists, including Blue Exorcist author and Attack on Titan authors, have cited Miura and Berserk as influences.
Yep.
I'm sure there's plenty more too.
Yeah, and like what Blue said, like Cloud is inspired by him. Dante from Devil May Cry, Dark Souls series is.
It's kind of crazy. I didn't know how
I didn't either. No,
much it's stretched.
I mean, when you read it, you just like it's just gonna be like
It looks
oh, yeah.
badass.
It's like, oh yeah, I've seen all of this, and then it's just like you see when it came out, and I was like, this came out like 10 years before everything else that I already know about came out. Like it's crazy.
You'll have to give it more of a fair shot, or at least maybe the manga. And who knows? It might still not be for me, but I'm interested. Well, and then I guess the other rough part though is, so what is the series gonna do now? Like maybe he did have an ending planned, or like a rough idea, or maybe someone who's been working
Like
closely with him
charge of
try
it
to
now.
like finish it, or I know, but
Well,
that
there's
definitely.
there's a YouTube series that I really like, and it's like this guy who lives in Japan and kind of just follows people who do like jobs in Japan. And like one of my favorite ones is like he follows like a mangakon like artist and like who like does a mangakon. It is so fucking cool. Like what they do. Like he shows up and starts drawing, and then like 5 people from like the studio come to his place, and they all start drawing manga and stuff. It's really cool. So I'm wondering if it's like
Was that on
one of those
YouTube? You
kind of
said?
people. Yeah, it's like a it's like this YouTuber. He just lives in Japan and kind of follows
You know what the name is?
I could find it like Japan casino job. Like let's see. Yeah, so a day Paulo from Tokyo. Paolo from Tokyo. So he like a day in the life of a Japanese casino worker pachinko. And then there's like ones where it's like day in the life of a manga artist or day in the life of a Japanese firefighter. It's really like interesting. Like and you kind of I literally went down a rabbit hole one day and like literally just like watch everything. Let me yeah, so he follows this mangakon artist. I'll put it in the sub chat for you guys. And it's a pretty dope like way of like seeing how manga's made and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so you see like Japanese university student, cosplay worker, game programmer, ramen chef, firefighter, delivery worker, and he just follows them, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting. It sounds like, for whatever reason, every time I go into this pho restaurant near us, they have this big old TV on the back wall, and it's only ever playing these bizarre, like, Asian food videos. Where,
oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, where it's just them making these Asian, and they're like forever long.
Every single pho place does this. They always play.
And we just have this playlist.
Is there like an unspoken rule at a pho place? Like you have to play these really weird, like.
It has to be, and they're like weirdly entrancing. Like at first, like, what is he making? And then you're just like 30 minutes have gone by. It's bizarre.
And then I think
great though.
Are you still playing your gacha game right now, Mr. Fur? You still min-maxing? I know you wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we min-maxing, baby.
So okay, so you're running and you ran into a fight. So in this fight, you want to win, and what happens if you win?
Well, there's like different stages to it. You missed it. There's like they'll have their special abilities because like technically like if I turn off, I can't turn off auto because I have the whole thing. But like it's almost like an RPG. Every character has like 3 different skills. Yeah, with different cooldowns, all this kind of stuff. And I'm just hopelessly addicted. And gacha games just aren't good for my health. I can only play this one because I don't think I could afford.
You play a gacha game I like called CS:GO, and then just let me use whatever you get, please. And then Mr. Fruit, you can actually like sell those whenever you get bored, please.
Yeah, I should. But there's just like it's just this perfect blend of like you kind of gotta at points you gotta like plug in and figure out strategy and do things, but at the other times you can just kind of let it vibe, and it's nice. But it also reminded me of recently Genshin Impact had this like new character come out, and I just kind of keep up to date with it because I know that's like MTash thing now. Ever since he moved on from Destiny. But there's this guy. I think I have it pulled up, just so I remember his name. Inviosity, who's like the biggest like Genshin Impact streamer, content creator, kind of. Because he had like 30,000 people watching him on this day. And that's a lot for Genshin Impact. That's like the whole directory. And so this new character had come out. And so apparently it's like the 240th day of Genshin Impact release, whatever. And he's completely free to play. He's never put like $1 into it. And so he was finally going to pull on this banner. So this new character came out in this limited banner where you have a better chance of pulling them. And so he was finally going to use like most of the stuff he's used up, like saved up, to try and get this character because he can't get all these other characters because he's free to play.
Yeah.
And he just ends up getting insane luck. And almost doesn't have to like spend anything. And it was just so interesting to see because like there was like arguments in the comment section as well because like people were like, this is a feeling a whale never gets. Because like the pure excitement and like hype he got definitely can't be matched because he spent 240 days saving. And, you know, getting this stuff is really rare for him. And so it's really exciting. And then people are like, this is something whales will never understand. And if for people that are like, what are you talking about, whales? They've been a thing in any game, but especially like mobile games and gacha games. Whales are considered the people who
comes from like poker or like gambling.
It probably does.
Like,
yeah, I'm sure it comes
like,
from.
Yeah.
From something. But essentially, it's like the suckers who have so much cash, whatever. They're like in like regards to like a gacha game, they're practically like, you know, making the game free to play for everybody else. They spend so much money. Because in gacha games, it's essentially you have all these. It doesn't matter what it is, but essentially there's like loot boxes, and you're trying to get certain things, and there's drop rates, and the likelihood you do it, blah blah blah, and the rarer they are, the harder they are to get. So it's kind of like a lottery essentially, and so people can put a ton of money into it. But this free to play player saved up, got super lucky, got all this stuff. People were hyped. And then everybody was like pooping on whales, which doesn't make any sense because you're able to play this free to play game because
it's like your
whales
game
exist.
Is only as big as it is because of whales. Like,
yeah, like
someone's got to fund it.
I'm sure MiHoYo, the people who make Genshin Impact, don't like Ambiosity. They don't like that he's like the biggest content creator because he's a free to play content creator, right? And so for them, you know how much money they made from Ambiosity? Nothing. And he might just be promoting this free to play idea, which like I'm sure they don't mind. Like obviously they have free to play players that are going to stay free to play, but obviously if they can, they want to incentivize people. Hey, spend some money. But then other people like talked about it. It's like, well, the difference between a lot of whales and free to play sometimes are whales are busy, have less free time, and so instead it's a trade-off. They don't have as much time to spend. So they use their money as a shortcut, whereas a lot of free-to-players can sometimes grind out the game more in order to get... They obviously won't get as far, but like there's two sides of the same coin. I don't think anybody's wrong or right.
It's just like a casino. You know, you go to a casino is... Sure, we'll take your money, but like they don't care how much it is. But if there's like somebody who is like a whale in the sense, and they want them gambling at their casino, you know? They'll give them a free room comp, you know, free drinks, you know, that kind of stuff.
We'll fly in free this weekend.
Yeah, we'll fly you in free, Mr. Barkley. Like, come on in and come on gamble your $300,000.
Bring your money. Yeah, thanks.
You know, they want to bring the whales in. You know, they're cool with having their free to play players, and they make their $30 to $40. But on that one whale, they can make what they make on 80% of their player base off that one player. So they're gonna do anything they can to make sure that player comes to their game or their casino to spend their money there. And they're always going to think about the whales first. And that's because that's who's spending their money. So they're going to base the game or base the kind of drops and all that kind of stuff around whales. So I don't know why I mean,
I think
like it's just like kind of like CSGO because you can open up like a knife that's like $5, but then you can or 20 or $70, I guess, is the cheapest knife, and then you can open up a knife that's worth $15,000.
But the biggest difference though is like CS:GO is definitely not a gotcha game in that sense
No.
because it's not. CS:GO would be a gotcha game if the AK-47 you can only use it if you've pulled it from a loot box or like
I
gameplay
could pay
wise.
cash for it. Like I could still buy it off a secondary market for cash.
Well, I'm saying gameplay wise, everything is available to everyone. Like you
True.
don't. There's no gameplay changing mechanics you can find in loot boxes. Whereas a lot of gotcha games, that's what's the difference. Is like in Genshin Impact, this new character isn't just a reskin character. She literally has all brand new ability. It's like a league champ essentially.
Yeah.
Like come in and it's a different way to play the game, and you can only get it if you pull them from
Opening like
summons or
cases from
banners. Yeah, essentially loot boxes. And gotcha games are scary because I can definitely I can be a whale. It's
Oh, I mean,
it's
I
not
am
good.
a whale in CS:GO nowadays.
Yeah, it's like
Unfortunately, I don't open as many cases as I used to now. Now I just if I like the skin, I'll just go and buy said skin now instead of opening. Say the skin is $600 and I really want the skin. Oh, I'm gonna open up cases to get it for less than 600, and then I open up $900 worth of cases and finally get it. You know.
what it's what I was thinking about too. It's like I almost hate free to play games because I'm a sucker. Like I told you, like I can't do those things because they appeal to me. I'm that person, and that little endorphin rush you get, it's bad.
Well, have you watched Trainwreck's gambling streams at all?
Yeah,
Those are addicting, bro.
I mean, I told you that's why I don't gamble. I do not gamble because I know I would be sitting in a cardboard box right now owning some mobster. Like, I tell you what, I know it would not be good.
Try not to get your legs broken.
Yeah, so I almost wish free to play. I would rather pay for a game up front because I know in the long run I'm not spending as much money. Because God, ironically, the games I've spent most money on free to play games. League is still my most the game I put the most money in, and that's been free to play. Granted, I've gotten about a decade out of it, so that's pretty good. But yeah, they're scary, man.
Good luck, man. I hope you break that wheel that you so desperately talk about breaking.
Like I don't need to break this wheel. I'll keep playing this. I just need to stop putting so much money.
Yeah. How much is okay? So I want to buy a champion or whatever that is. How much is a case? Break it down to CS:GO terms for me. Like if I want to open up a case.
Let me see if I can do a conversion.
Because in CS:GO comparisons, say if I want to open up a butterfly knife, I'll open up an Operation Breakout case. That case probably cost me 50 cents, and then I gotta buy the key for it as well, which is I think $2.49. So if I opened up 10 Operation Breakout cases, I spent $30 essentially.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here, and that's about the same conversion rate. One summon in this case would be a little less than $2, and 10 summons because you either do one or a bulk, and if you do 10 summons,
let me guess, the bulk is a little bit better deal.
I don't know if it is. It might just be a
lazy thing,
a trick. Yeah, you might think you have better luck. I don't actually know if you do. But it's also if you're gonna bulk summon, it's quicker anyway. But that one's $28.50 or whatever.
Yeah.
Except the difference with CS:GO is, like you said, that holds value. You can, if you wanted to, you could sell that and make money.
There's a lot of hoops to go through, but yes, I could sell this on the China market and then have China balance and then sell that RMB to crypto and then change that crypto to whatever. Speaking of crypto, tough week for you guys out there.
Yeah.
Not you, but specifically,
I'm
saying for people.
It's what did you think Doge was going to be stable? Never was going to from the start. And then, on top of all Bitcoin, all these countries being we're not accepting this. We don't acknowledge this as an actual currency, blah, blah, blah.
China was like, yeah, we don't like it. And everybody was like.
When the world's biggest economic power tells you they don't like this currency, you're kind of well, yeah,
that sucks.
It was fun. Let me actually see where it's at right now.
I bet it's 43 is my guess. Bitcoin at least.
Let's see. According to this, Bitcoin. Holy Jesus.
43 grand is
Oof.
my guess.
Oof.
The last time I looked, it was at 40.
Well, like the graph here is just rough, brother. Like this is the past week. Just
Oh no.
going down. It's down to 37,000. Whereas, what 2 weeks ago it was 60,000.
God.
A big old drop. And then Doge, where's Doge?
I saw Doge like right before SNL was like about to hit 70 cents and then just fucking
It's at 35 cents. 2 weeks ago it was at 70 cents, or just about to hit 70 cents.
That's why you sell
it's
the news.
It's still
Sell the news, or sell the hype, buy the news, or whatever it is.
No.
What is it?
It's I don't know. As soon as it hits the news is when you sell, I think.
Yeah.
I forget the saying, but yeah, like as soon as it becomes widely acknowledged, that's when you sell, not when you buy. If you had it, otherwise you're too late.
That's like the
yeah.
And by they, I mean like people who actually invest in stocks.
Yeah, people who know what they're talking about. It's still, I still think it's wildly overvalued as is, but
me too.
It's
Ethereum, I think, is like the only one I kind of even think about because like it's kind of affordable, but like it's super still expensive, But like it's still like.
I mean, Bitcoin as a whole is still very like until like Bitcoin is like the closest we've had to really like finding footing everywhere, like people accepting Bitcoin and that kind of stuff. Until that happens, I think it's all pretty volatile. I mean, the idea of it, I think, is sound, and I think it makes sense. Like a global currency not owned or operated by anyone specifically makes sense. But we'll see until the day it actually works. Because for now, currently, most of the world bases off their currency power and stuff to the dollar, which I think as time moves on here, they're going to move away from that.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Do you guys want to move on to Patreon questions, or because we have that sponsor stream here in a little bit?
Let's do it.
Sponsored.
Let me go to the Q&A. Thank you to all the stands that wrote in questions today.
Thank you, stands.
I have to.
We appreciate
we did
you.
all of those. I'm trying to find like where the break off is. Normally Arnav does it, but he didn't, which is fine. Sky asks, Rob, with you getting into F1, I suggest watching F1 Drive to Survive. If you have not already, it can bring up you to speed on the past few seasons and get you behind the scenes action on the teams and what they do on and off the track. Already talked about it. Super sick. Yeah, everybody should watch it. Sloss asks, favorite type of flower?
Oh, blue bonnet.
Blue bonnet.
Wow, you pulled that out quick. I don't even know what that looks like.
Texas classic.
Blue bonnet.
Blue bonnet fields are so pretty, dude.
You know what I like?
They're pretty.
I like paintbrushes. Look up a paintbrush flower.
Oh, I thought you were just talking.
No, paintbrush flowers are really cool. I like paintbrushes, and the reason I like the paintbrush is because when I worked at Colorado Golf Club, those were the flowers that were planted around the course, and the tournament that they had every year was called the paintbrush after that flower. So I thought it kind of looked cool. It smells like shit, but looks cool.
I'm gonna be honest. I probably couldn't even name 4 different kind of flowers.
Yeah, you could.
Just say Super Saiyan Rose.
Just think like Valentine's Day. You can name 4 flowers.
I don't know if I could. I don't really. I guess I have to look more to find some. But for now, I'll just say if it's purple, I'd probably like it.
Purple of a daffodil. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Love daffodils.
Daffodils are totally yellow and white, by the way.
Wait, really? Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Joshua asks, what do you think?
Any better, so.
You could lavender flower. That's purple.
Is there a lavender flower?
I think so.
Keep going.
Joshua asks, what do you guys think is a crime you could get away with? Actual crimes, not something like jaywalking.
A crime you can. I feel okay. Here's the thing.
I was-
You
Like
say
pirating a movie.
you say a crime you can get away with. Okay, we've all done some misdemeanors in our time. Every single person, you pirated a movie, you go to some shit like
TPing a house.
Look.
I guess I don't know.
Don't ask me why. It sounds weird when I say this, but I've been thinking about this recently.
Okay.
Getting away with murder.
You
Okay.
could
The
never.
hell?
I think you could. Think about like the
No
Zodiac
chance.
kill. Listen.
That's in the 80s.
No, but here's what I'm saying. I don't think it's that far off. If you are so prepared, careful, find perfect alibis, and like in between crazy, like you drive here and only use cash and do this, and like you go within the span
So
period where people
difficult.
don't think it is, but you get one kill, no motive, completely unrelated, like they got
You're
no
saying
connection.
like Zodiac, where he literally like walked up to two people who were chilling at the beach.
Except
and
I
he
wouldn't
just,
even go
like,
for two, just one person. You just kill one random person, no connection. Who knows where it is? Not even remotely close to you. And then that's it. And you never kill again. And they just have nothing to go off of. I think you have it has to be really careful. But like
you
I
can't
think
slip up.
yeah, they're like no slipping up. And that's what I'm saying. You have to like have some alibi too that like physically, well, first off, they wouldn't even know you exist or even think to question you, but if they ever somehow got
Like,
that far.
how about if you recorded a VOD of you actually pretending to stream and stuff like that? And then, like, you said you were streaming on that thing, but when you were streaming, you went out, but then they find the recording. See, but then they're like, let me see, like,
No, but then
see,
you
they
get
would
rid of
find-
that. Of course you'd get rid of that.
I mean, the
so
reality.
sketch.
No, I mean, if I do agree with Fruit in that
If someone's
if
that
it was just
much
like
of
a
a psychopath.
random act of just violence, like no one can figure that out because like what is it, like 90% of murders or even more than that, like
I'll look it up.
the ridiculous vast majority of murders are by people that they know. So if it's just a random act of violence, like what, like there's no alibi, like it's just someone just decided, boom, I'm gonna do it, then like how are they gonna find out it's you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine I just somehow I decide one day like that. I record an upload of, or I stream a VOD pretending I'm live. And then during that time, I drive to like New York City. I don't know. I find some place, I've already scoped this out. I find some place that has like my path would have no CCTVs. Like, there's no security cameras anywhere else. No one would know. And then I just find some random person in this like back alley. Boom.
Mr. Fruit, you're scaring me.
Take him out right there. Or I don't know, kidnap him. I don't know. Something.
You've
Dump
clearly
him
thought
in a
about
river.
this, my God.
Dump him in the ocean. I don't even know. Okay.
Well, so
Come
here,
back.
I got a statistic for you. It says Denver. Homicides tracked in Denver, 362. Percentages without an arrest, 55%.
Oh my God.
And they probably weren't that careful.
And that's data within 8 years, and it was last updated in 2018. So
I'm just saying, if I'm more careful, I got some pretty good odds going.
I didn't realize it was better than a 50-50, dude.
Yeah. You're like, got a gun to somebody? He's like 50-50, dude.
But I guess it's different. Like you said, if you're killing just somebody totally unattached to you, but like if you
Yeah.
killed like your brother or something like that.
So like imagine that. Like I'm here in Denver. Some guy just finds this. Well, first off, they probably, if I dump it in the ocean, first off, they wouldn't notice for days. Then they finally do, and then they're like a missing case. They have to find the body.
Well,
They can't even
bodies
find
float.
the body.
So
Well,
you gotta-
no, I
you
tie
gotta
it down
put
with like a
some weight to
cement
that.
block or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I
See,
don't know.
no, but I'm
Dude.
just
I
covering
know
your
what I'm
base,
doing
man,
here,
you know?
Rob. Okay, come on. This
I'm
ain't my
coming-
first rodeo. And so then they go through that whole loop. And then they have to finish realize, okay, missing person at some point they're gonna have to say, okay, we're gonna assume he's dead. And then they're gonna be like, you know what? Let's check out this random person in Denver.
Who's a YouTuber?
Yeah, who doesn't travel. I would have no travel logs. I used cash for gas or something. Or like I didn't even do that. I brought my own gas containers.
Like, yeah. Interesting.
Just
I don't
saying.
think I could get away with it. But
Don't
I mean,
ask
if
me
you
why I'm
think you can
thinking
get away
about
with it-
that. All right, don't you? This is not condemning evidence. You cannot use this in a court or something.
Well, Mr. Fruit got away with murder. We got our title.
I'm not a psychopath. I swear. You'd have to be some kind of a psychopath to do that.
Johnny Krumer asks, "What movie quote do you always catch yourself saying?" If I'm ever like in a situation where like I'm Like if I ask something and someone gives me like a clear and obvious answer, like it's over there, idiot. I do the super bad. Fuck me, right? Like I do that one.
For whatever reason, it was just a meme back in high school with some of my friends. But I can do nothing for you, son. And that's
You
from
do that one a lot, actually.
it's
Yeah.
from True Grit. It's Jeff Bridges. And I don't remember why. I think it was just in
What
a
can't he
trailer,
do
and I
for
thought
the
it was
son?
funny. He was talking to Matt Damon, I think, or something. He's like in the old Jeff Bridges, like I can't even do full Jeff Bridges. Like I can do nothing for you, son. And then of course, the more I say it, and the more I mean it, it eventually just became like I can do nothing for you, son. But I don't know, for whatever reason, that one comes up a lot.
What about you, Blue?
I don't know if I do use one, like I'm unaware that I use it.
Yeah, I agree too with that.
I thought I always quoted the movie, but it was like a Mandela effect. I always say, I'm just an old man waiting to die. And I thought that
SpongeBob.
was a movie quote from, I thought I was quoting, what the fudge is it? Mr. Nobody. But apparently it doesn't. I looked that up. I don't think it's in Mr. Nobody. But I could have sworn, so I don't know where I thought I heard that from that movie, but.
I say it is what it is a lot, but like mockingly. If that's from a movie, I use that.
Yeah,
one.
but that's just kind of like if a movie
It
used
is
that,
what it
they
is.
didn't.
Whenever family gets brought up, I always say like a Vin Diesel family.
Familia.
Yeah, familia. Kind of shit like that.
Families forever.
Yeah. Mr. Slippy Fist asks, "Hey guys, big fan. I'm surprised this question hasn't been asked yet. If you had to choose one, would you rather take 50% power punch to the face by the mountain or a 100% power teabagged by him?" I mean, I'll take balls to the mouth.
I'll take a teabag.
Yeah, I'll take
Teabag's
balls to the mouth.
easy.
Yeah.
I can't. Even a 50% punch, dude. My jaw right now is in shambles.
Like, let me show you what a 50% punch from the mountain looks like. Like, boom, and like I'm hurting. Let me show you what 100% teabag looks like. All right, I'd rather do that.
So in Photoshop, no, I don't.
Little Johnny Boy asks, question for Fruit. I was watching your Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu series on your other channel and was wondering what happened to the rest of the Let's Play. Peppy Hands. Also, it's a Peppy McLeod or Peppy from Star Fox with hands. Also, what is your guys' go-to place to eat that typically never disappoints? Torchies. I have upgraded Torchies to S tier. Their tacos of the month are always bangers. I don't think I've had a taco of the month from Torchies that I hated. And then your question, Mr. Fruit, for the Pokemon series thing.
Wait, which Pokemon series?
It said Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu series on your other channel and was wondering what happened to the rest of the series.
I think I explained it somewhere. But I was doing it in tandem with Red Dead Redemption at the time. And both just became too much to handle. I learned to not try and do 2 Let's Plays at once. And that's what happened to that. As far as places that don't disappoint, honestly, no matter where I've gone, there's always been at least one time they've disappointed. But if I just had to go Old Faithful, I just got Chick-fil-A.
Go on. Sauce is kind of low though now.
What do you mean?
Like they're having like sauce shortages.
Oh yeah.
For me, as far as like what I get the most, I get so much Chipotle, dude. Like Chipotle, and like there has never been a time where I've eaten Chipotle burrito and I've been like, man, this is kind of mid. Nope.
Always
every
hidden.
single time I'm just like, God damn.
There's one thing that like depends, like that can ruin Chipotle for me, and it's if the rice is on point. If I get like hard crunchy rice, oh my fucking god, my whole
I've never gotten that.
Like, I've always had god tier rice.
See, sometimes Qdoba and Chipotle will have hard rice, and I just get fucking pissed because then like you can't just go out and take out the rice. Like my burrito is ruined. Like,
Cannot
at least
grain
in
by
every
grain.
other bite I'm getting. But like that's a very rare. Like I'm just saying, like that is like maybe a 2 in every 50 chances I go.
Cannot relate, unfortunately.
I mean, there was that one time Chipotle cut my throat. But see, that was a one-time thing.
Oh, with that piece of chicken?
Yeah, and then I got 30 free meals.
Papa Dadams asks, "What do
I'll
you
do it
do
again.
if you have no motivation, or how do you get yourself motivated?" I've been struggling with this a lot lately. You know, my thing is my hardest thing is to like actually like go and do something. Like the act of like starting is the hardest thing for me. Like whenever I do a Peloton, the hardest thing for me is the first 10 to 12 minutes cuz I feel like I'm just biking, I'm not doing anything that's fun. Like I hate this. I'm not sweating or I'm not feeling like I'm making any progress. And then like what it's just like doing something I don't want to do. Like and that's what motivates me. If I can get through the day of doing one thing I didn't want to do and like wanted to just avoid entirely, and if I do that one task, it makes me feel like, "Oh, now I can stream even though if I feel like I don't put on a great stream today or like know what game I'm playing, I'll still put on an awesome stream." And then and then we have dinner tonight. Like it's just a kind of a chain reaction of
Snowball effect.
events. Yeah.
Blue, what would you say?
If I have a package coming, I'll be like, hey, I guess it's time to wake up. Poggers.
Packages are cool.
I have recently I now raid 5 days a week in Final Fantasy.
Dang.
So I my motivation, I've tried to keep myself occupied because sometimes I'll just be there like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I here? So I'll be like, I keep myself occupied. I assign myself up for things that I have no chance of getting out of, so I'm forced to do something. That's probably an incredibly unhealthy way of doing that, so don't follow my lead, but that's how I do it. I will sign myself up for things to do them, and I think that's how I've always done it. If I'm not motivated, I'll be like, God, I hate sign myself up. Now I have to go.
Yeah, it's like, well, I said I'd be there.
I've been struggling with motivation recently, so I don't really have a fix because I'm too struggling. I remember though back in high school, this was mainly because I was depressed, but I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do tomorrow, much less 2 days from now. The way I did it was, I had a show every weekday that would air that I look forward to. So I'd be like, okay, it's Monday night, which means so and so is gonna come on. Like I remember, like Wednesdays, I think it was like Castle. Thursdays,
Castle's an awesome show.
I do like Castle, but like I had some show on every weeknight, and so the day would end.
Getting together, Castle and
yes,
is like detective. They did.
Yeah,
okay.
Beckett. And then you wake up, and I'm like, great. Okay, well, I just got to make it until tonight for my new TV show. Just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And I remember my girlfriend at the time. I told her that. She's like, "That's sad." I was like, "Yeah, I guess it is."
Welcome to Depresso life.
But
That's sad.
They got me through day to day. So even the smallest things, doesn't matter what it is, like that, like Blue, like a package or something. Looking forward to something, or like something that helps, like especially a lot with like depressed people. It's like when you have an animal, because suddenly you can't just not do anything anymore because now you have you have a dog needing to be let out, or like a dog needing to be fed. Now I'm not saying that's like a fix for everything, because then if you genuinely can't take care of it,
don't depress impulse by a dog if you can't take care of it.
And then like also understand like, and
But
it also helps because animals show you unconditional love. Like that animal will love you regardless if you had a bad day or a good day, and like that is what's awesome about animals.
They're like literally yesterday, I was like, I haven't just sat around and done absolutely nothing with Boomy for a while. So you know what? I'm gonna just take 4 hours and do jack shit, and my dog can sleep on me.
Day.
And Boomy had an amazing day for sure.
Ooh, nice Dado merch.
Ooh,
look at those boxes.
Nice ass.
We have a question from Riles. I'll actually wait for Mr. Fruit to come back to this one because it's a Naruto question. No. Penguins asks, how do you guys feel about Resident Evil series, and do you have any plans on playing Village? Yeah, I do plan on playing Village Sunday night. It's fun.
I don't have any plans on playing Village, but it looks really good, and I was watching Dork playing it, and it was making me want to play it, but maybe, who knows?
Yeah, in terms of like the whole Resident Evil series, I've never really been big into Resident Evil. I think the first I ever played was the bio one, the one that came before. I think it's 6. I think, I don't know. The whatever the one before this one was. That's the last one I played, but they're fun. Fire asks, what is your best coping mechanism to stress? Petting Max or hanging out with Max. Because Max is an animal and doesn't have any idea of what is stressing me out. So he comes to me happy, and that makes me kind of forget about what I'm stressing out about and kind of puts me in perspective.
Yeah, it's either Boomy. Like, I'll just go, like, hang out with Boomy and just lay down. Or my stress reliever is, like, if I get overwhelmed, like, I will just go, like, find a nice, cozy, quiet corner and just lay down on my couch. Like, I'll just be like, all right, I don't want to deal with this. I'm gonna go lay down, leave my phone in the other room, and just lay there for a little bit.
Riles asks, favorite Naruto characters. Mine are Shikimaru and Jiraiya. Jiraiya. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Jiraiya. Nailed it.
Favorite Naruto characters.
I don't know. I've never watched.
Probably, I don't know, Sasuke, and probably I am a big Kawaki fan right now in Boruto. Big Kawaki fan.
Favorite Naruto characters, Mr. Fruit.
Oh, I think we kind of touched on this at one point. Obviously Itachi. Come on now.
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with me? That's my answer.
Blue, come
I
on.
I said Sasuke and then Kawaki in Boruto. So
I haven't gotten to him yet. That Kakashi or Rock Lee.
And then one question was from Fire, and it was, what is your coping mechanism for stress?
Unfortunately, food. And
then last question here from Z Train asks, have you recently watched VV Floor Tight's Eyes song? If not, I definitely suggest it.
What the hell
Can
did
you
you just
type
call
that?
me?
It's in the questions. VIVY. So Vivi and then Fluorite. FLOURITE. Eyes song.
Have you watched
Vivi Fluorite's Eyes song?
No, definitely not.
I think Mr. Fruit is reading up on it now.
I'm trying to figure out what the fudge.
I'm gonna Vivi.
I'm Googling it.
Eyes. Yeah, I'm Googling it now. I'll read it for you guys.
Oh, it's an anime.
When heavily evolved AIs set out to eradicate mankind, the carnage that ensues fills the air with a stench of fresh blood and burning bodies. In a desperate bid to prevent the calamity from ever occurring, a scientist bets everything on a remnant from the past.
Oh, I'll give it a shot. I've never even heard of it.
It's like on my anime list, which I think is like the connoisseur kind of website for anime people. It's ranked 119.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wait. Now you got me wondering.
Yeah, and then it's like popularity is number 930. And it's like score is an 8.5.
The number one anime of all time, I feel like we looked this up, is Brotherhood.
Yeah, I think so.
That's right.
The second is Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2.
Still haven't finished Attack on Titan.
Then Steins Gate, Gintama, Hunter x Hunter,
My
Kinga
boy
Eve,
Roho
Densetsu.
stands Steins Gate.
A lot of Gintama. I don't know what that is. The final season of Attack on Titan. 3 Gatsu no Line. Another Gintama. I don't know what this Gintama is. Another Gintama. Another Gintama. Okay, apparently. Another Gintama. All right, I guess. Another Gintama. Another Gintama. Apparently Gintama's the way, whatever that is. All right, yeah.
Well, that'll do it for the GG over easy questions.
And
guys,
the podcast.
Where can people find you on the internet? You can find us here.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of have to cut it off here quick because I need to eat breakfast and do stuff before we stream.
Thank you everybody for watching and/or listening to the podcast. We appreciate you
Love you
and your support. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.